Let's see. Hope this class goes good. Because whenever I try to connect, right, there will be some other issues. The system becomes very slow. Okay, so let's. Today we'll discuss about HPLM. So HPLM is also a test management tool. So so far how many tools you have learned? We have talked about Rally that is used in Agile. Okay, mostly Agile. I mean, it's not necessary. It has to be Agile. It can be in any environment. Agile is really good. And okay, and the second is we learned about Jira. Okay, and third is we are going to learn with HPLM. And in the last class we'll also see if we can go through the TFS, that is Team Foundation Server, and also give some hints right on TFS. TFS is also similar. So we'll go through this. I mean, I would say don't too much concentrate on HPLM. It's good. I mean, it's good to know. You have to understand it because you might be using this too, or maybe not sure, because it's up to people, the client, the project, our project. But this tool really cannot use in Agile. I mean, it's not like you cannot use it. You can use it, but it's like you'll be facing a lot of hard time using this tool because this tool is a little complicated and it's not so easy to understand than what we had with Rally. Rally was easy, right? I hope everyone found it easy to write your test cases, your execution of test cases. But here, this HPLM, it's also similar, but it's really not easy because you have to do a lot of redundant work here. Okay, so let's go here. So this is ALM, Application Lifecycle Management, which is from HP. This is HP bought from, actually it was Quality Center, and before Quality Center, that is before 2008. I think before 2008, it was called Test Director. Okay, later they upgraded to Quality Center, and we'll see. And the person was Mercury, and the company was Mercury. Mercury was handling all this, and the HP bought it from Mercury, and they renamed it. It's called as ALM. Okay, and this is a 10 version. You see here, you can find out what's the version. This is 12 version. Oh, let's see here. There, 12.50. See this? This is 12.50 version, and this is also used, for all of the process to creating test cases, executing test cases, and reporting defects. All of the above. Okay, so let's go. There. Here you have this modules. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 modules. So here most important is 4 modules. As a tester point of view, as a QA engineer or QA analyst, you will be having only access to these 4 modules, not all of this. You're seeing a lot of modules here, right? It's not necessary you have to know all this, and unless you're a Scrum Master or you're a manager, or if you are in a management perspective, then this will be will be having access. You'll be having this access. Other than that, you will not be having access for all of this. You see this management. Of course, you will not be doing with anything with management, right? It's nothing to do with the tester. Okay. And if you see this performance tester, if you are working in performance, then only you have this access. As a QA, you will not be having access. Development, obviously, you will not have this access because it's a developer's job, not testers, right? So you will not be having all this access in the real time. You will be only having limited access for requirements, test plan, test lab, and defects. So we'll only going through that. Okay, so we'll not be going to everything, and it's really not required unless of course, unless you're going as Scrum Master or anything else. Okay, you really don't require all of this. So there's 4 modules. That is requirement module, where you will view the requirements. Okay, you're only viewing this requirements, nothing else. You will not have any access to write or read, and you're not supposed to do anything here. You are given access, read-only access. Okay, these requirements you are given access only for read-only, only to read. not to write, right? So you're not allowed to write anything here. So make sure you understand that. And deleting is far more, thing. You are not supposed to do anything, deletion of anything here. Okay, so this is the requirements. And then you have this test plan. Test plan here. So again, this is a module in a HPLM. It's this just a module. This is not a document. So we know a test plan. Test plan is a document which it's a high level document prepared by the QA lead. That's completely different from this. This is nothing to do with this. Although the name is same, that you call it test plan. Here test plan module in HPLM. So that's the thing, right? So whenever the interviewer asks, they'll ask something randomly like, what is test plan? If there is some random question, then of course they are referring to some document. Let's say if they are only talking about HPLM and they suddenly ask what is test plan, that means they are referring to this module, not the document. Okay, so that's the tricky part when answering the interview questions. So, I mean, you can answer them accordingly. If you whatever you understood, like let's say if you understood it's a test plan document, then you can give the expression with test plan. If you understood if it's a HPLM, then you can give explanation on that. Okay, so test plan module in HPLM is to create test cases. That's it, nothing else. What you do in test plan, you create test cases. That's it. What you do in test lab, you execute your test cases. That's it. There's no other thing you will be doing here. Okay, and what's the defects? Of course, you open a defect, for the developer to look into it. Okay, so 4 important modules. Requirement module, where you actually view the requirements. Test plan module, which you create your test case. Test lab module, which you execute the test case. And defects module, where you open the defects. Okay. So, yeah, one more thing, right? If anyone wants access to HPLM, then you have to check with Tagore, because I don't have access for this specific module of HPLM. I don't have access for this one. You need to check with Tagore and get the access. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, let's go to here. Let's go to the requirements module. Okay. So let's see here. There is a requirement here. So now, of course, you have a lot of requirements. If you see this, there's a lot of requirements, right? You need to figure it out which requirement you will be working on, right? Which is your requirement, which one you will be working on. So once you know it, okay, good. So I figured it out my requirement. So this is my requirement, GMO requirement. So this is my requirement. Okay. So you need to figure it out which requirement you're working on. Okay. And you're not supposed to create anything. Okay. This will all will be disabled. Okay. For you, if you're as a tester, this will be disabled, because you're not supposed to create anything. You're not supposed to delete anything. You're not supposed to edit anything. You have nothing to do with this. You only job for you here is to view it. What the requirement says, there is the end date, all those information. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so here is the thing. So this is the description. That's what we have. And in real time, it might be completely different. They might have a lot of information, but all the information, may not be related to you. You need to, find out which is information is required, and then based on that, you need to start writing your test cases. Okay, so that's that's what you need to look at it. Description. Okay, and rich text. Obviously we don't require this. We are not putting any attachments here. Don't even put any attachments. It's not your job. And hopefully this will not be there for you because access limitations and link defects. Of course, this might be there. This access might be there. and you want to see which defect is linked, which is not. Okay, is it related to you? You can view here, and you can, if you're not supposed to add anything without talking to your lead or anyone. So don't do this. Don't add anything here unless your lead says to do. Okay. Then you have development activity. Of course, this is not for you. Requirement traceability. So this is important. Okay, this is nothing here. Okay, let's go here. Required test code. So there is something called RTM. Okay, there is something called RTM, that is requirement traceability matrix. So what you do here is, you go to this, you go to here test coverage. You want to go to test coverage. You'll be having access to this, and once you see here in the test plan, you might have written test cases. Once you written the test cases, you drag and drop it here, or just click on this add to coverage. This will get added to here. Okay. So what is RTM? It's a requirement traceability matrix. That means all the test cases should have at least matched one requirement. That is called RTM, requirement traceability matrix. That means whatever test cases you have written should at least match that requirement, right? So that's what you're doing here. You want to click here. If you select here, I know this is pretty much primitive way of doing. This is primitive if you compare to Rally, but you need to know. Okay, because this is sometimes you might also have in the work, right? They might be still using HPA. You never know. Okay, so here you're actually trying to navigate this test plan here, and once you go to test plan, you want to drag it and drop here. Okay, so that's what you'll be doing in test coverage. Okay, next business model risk history. When you history, who has edited it, who is doing what, and audit log on that. Okay, so this is pretty much about requirements. Okay, your job in a requirement is to okay, so your job, as a tester, requirement is only to view the requirement. That's it. Okay, so mostly you will be looking into it only in the detail section and see who has opened it and what it has to be done. Is it a previous defect, or sometimes defects become requirement, right? So when the defect become requirement, then you want to see which defect linked to it and how it has become requirement. So you can see that in the link defects, and that's it. That's it about requirements. First, you need to see which project you're working on. If there is any release, which sprint. If you are using in Agile, for Agile, this is really not good. It's not good tool to use it. But yeah, if you are using it, then you have to use it, right? So you want to figure it out which folder it is, which directory, and which is the requirement. Okay. Then after taking that, you want to view this requirement. Okay. So that's the requirement section. Okay, next let's go to the next one. That's test plan module. Okay, so here you have full access, but just because you have full access doesn't mean you start deleting anyone's test cases. You cannot delete anyone's test cases. Okay, just make sure you're not doing it, because that will be taken seriously. Okay, so here once you say that you have full access, so that because you are a tester, right? So you'll be having complete access. All this will be enabled, and you can do you can create your test cases, and you can create your own folder here. So let's once you go here, so there's a lot of projects again. It's a lot too many projects. You want to figure it out which project is yours. So let's see here, which is a project. So this is really a little bit tricky part here. This is no proper naming conventions here, so that's the reason this becomes a little hard. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, good. So I found my project. So this is my project. Okay, here this is ITMaker test cases. So I'll be creating all my documents here. So what I do is, this is a big project. Let's say a lot of people are working. So what I do is, I would want to create my own project with my name. Okay, I'll be creating by my name so that I know that it's my folder. So nobody touches my folder, right? Because it's really not their job. So now this is my this is the project. Okay, so this is the project, and these are the folders people are working. Let's take that. Okay, and then what I'll do is, I'll create a new folder for myself. Let's say let's take this one. I'll click on this. So make sure you are clicking this directory. If you're clicking anything other than that, that means it will get a folder inside a folder. Okay, that will be a subdirectory. Okay, directory inside a directory. So you want to make sure which folder you are creating it. So you click it here and click a folder, and I'll name it this. And okay, so if you see this, this is being created, but this is not in order, if you see, right? So if you want to make sure it's in order, then you want to click refresh. Once you refresh it, it does come to proper order. Okay. Okay, now I have successfully created this. Now I want to create it. Now this creating folder is not done. Now you want to see, the problem this here is, you want to create a framework. So in this case, specifically in HPLM, you want to create a framework, because you want to start writing test cases, right? How do you write test cases? No, you cannot write it here. This is nothing. This is not a place to write. You want to create a framework here. So to create a framework, there's something called new test set, kind of set. So what you want to do is click on this. So again, make sure you're clicking on particular folder. If you're clicking here, that will be great. That will get created in that folder. So you want in this. So make sure you highlight that and create new test. And we'll put this name, the same name. Okay. And now here you need to fill up information, right? As usual, you need to fill up in any test management tool. You need to fill up all this information. So what's the level? We just put it medium. Reviewed, not reviewed yet. So if it's reviewed, that means it has to go to the lead. Once you do this, you have to click on reviewed. Who is the designer of this test case? It will be you. If you're writing the test case, then it will be you. And what is the status? It's design, imported, ready, or repaired. We'll just put it design. Test priority, if you know it, you can put it priority. You just go to medium. Creation date, that's today. Reviewer, if you know who is the lead, who will be reviewing your work, you want to click on that. Click here something. Test effort, let's say you are working something like 10 hours. And if you have any comments, you can put it comments, attachments. Obviously, I would not recommend to use any attachments section here. this will be pretty confusing. If you're using attachment, just ignore it. Okay, you don't want attachment at this point of time or here. Okay, um, that's the reason, why, I tell it. But if you are using it, make sure you're using properly. Okay, because this gets too convoluted at one point. This will be really hard because um, this is pretty old tool, and this didn't get updated properly, so it's a lot of it's not user friendly. Normally it's not this is that user friendly like Rally. Okay, and make sure which type, what is the type, is it manual, automated, or system test. You just put it in manual and click on OK. Okay, so we have just created a framework for our test case. This is called test. Okay, test set or test. Okay, if you see here, a lot of things being created for you. The test ID is generated for you. That is 1220, 1270. Okay, with the version. Okay, and the priority, and all those things have been created. Okay, and if you see this lock, this lock icon is here. That means it's an open status. Okay, now this lock is open. That means it's checked out. That means this is not available in all of the tools, but few of them. So you want to check in your what? That means you want to check in your test cases into test environment, right? So you want to click here and check in. Click on this check in, so it gets checked in. So if you're not checking in, that means you are still working on it, and there has to be a lot of update to be made. Okay. Once you check in, you cannot update anything. You want to check it out and then update. Okay. So why is this basically for this check in and check out? Because to maintain the version control. Okay, how many times you have created it, how many times you checked in, how many times you checked out. Okay, for all these things, this version controls. That's the reason you have this. Okay, now let's see here. Let's go to the defects, design steps. Okay, after details, we'll go to design steps. Now here we are writing the test cases here. Okay. So you know what, I already have my test cases. So what I'll do is I'll just copy and paste. Okay, I'll just directly copy this steps. Now I have this option copy steps, and once it gets copied, okay, good. Now I'll just paste it here. But most of the time we'll be doing that. Okay, so that's you may not always write test cases from scratch. Okay, sometimes you also will be doing copy paste because you need to follow company standards, some of those, so you want to see that all the standards. Later, once you do this, you can edit here. Okay, whatever small information. If you're using Fox browser or Safari browser, you can change it to that. Okay, so all this you can edit it later stage. But once you copy and paste it, so this is good. Okay, so we successfully copied and pasted the test cases here. Now this is the steps. Okay, you can review it. You know. Okay, so you can review it here. Now let's go to a different module. So this parameters is more for an automation perspective. If you are doing some automation, then you want to use this parameterization. So we'll talk about this on Monday. So parameterization we'll talk, and what are the parameters we'll be using it. Okay. So, but really that's not used most of the time unless of course you're a automation tester or automation developer, automation guy, then you'll be using this. Other than that, as a QA, I mean, I've not used it, but if you get a chance, let me know, because most of the time you'll not be using this. Attachment, again, stay away from this. Okay, you don't want to use any of these here. Okay, there is a reason for that, and the reason is you will get confused at later stage. Okay, you don't want to get confused, right? You want to get to know what you have to do, but you don't want to know too much in this that you get what to do and what not to do, right? So don't use this attachment, is really not required. If I was a developer of this, I'd have removed this attachment, it's really not required. Okay, whatever I'll be doing, because the reason, right, you have this attachment. I'm not exactly sure why these guys have done this attachment. And if I click here, now there's an attachment here too. See this? Now this attachment is completely different from this attachment. Now, okay, let's not worry about it too much. Okay, let's go to this. We don't require attachment. This configuration. This is the test configuration. You can look at it, but with nothing to do with us. You know, you can view it here. That's it. Requirement coverage. Oh, here is a thing where you want to link your test cases to the requirement. Okay. So here, if you go here, go to the requirement. So which is, if you remember what is our requirement, let's see here. Okay, this is our requirement, right? So let's do this. Click on this and drag it here. Okay. Okay, good. Now I successfully have, now this ID sample is really not my requirement, so I want to remove it. Okay, good. Now this is my requirement. So that means I have just performed RTM on this my test cases. It is again RTM, requirement traceability matrix. That means whatever test cases have designed, now this is linked with this requirement. So that now whatever the product owner or business analyst or whoever responsible looks into it, okay, now this is the test cases design, okay, good. So that means the story is moving forward. Okay, so that's the reason for this RTM. Okay, that's the only use of this. And the link defects, again, stay away from it. Don't bother, because you know what, if you really want to use in this test plan, use this. You know what, use this link defects. I'm not exactly sure why this has two different things. Okay, so don't stay away from it, it's really not required. And then you have dependencies. If you have any dependencies, you know, this is again, you don't have access to this. Okay, this is really different module. So history, you can do this history here. Okay, and once you complete all this, let's say you've completed all this, now I want to check it out. I mean, check in. This is, I'm checked out already, right? That is the lock icon. You see this? That means I'm checked out. Now I want to check in. So what is my test case? Let's look at it. So my test case ID is, you can remember test case ID. Oops, let's go here. 1270. Okay, good. Now I'll go to click on here, check in. Now once we know is test ID 1270, so we just go here. This is it is 1270, and I'll click on check in. If you have any comments on this, you know, you can put it, or you want to keep check it out, you can do this. We want to check in, right? So we have to click on OK. Okay, great. So now if you see that the lock icon has gone, now my test case is successfully checked in, and I'm ready to execute my test case. Okay, any questions so far? So this is it. You know, this is about test plan. Only thing what you'll be doing is, most important thing as a QA tester is writing test cases in the design step. That's it. And remaining things, you know, I would say stay away. You know, and you can go to requirement coverage at the max to do RTM. Okay, and these are really, you know, if you're an experienced guy, you can look it into history too. If you're really interested. Otherwise, it's history is mostly looked by QA lead. Okay, so that's it. These two modules are very important. Okay, and if you think that I want this attachments, this is very important project, and this project contains attachment, it has to be attached. Okay, good. So use this attachment. Click on this, double click. Okay, double click on your test set and double click and use this attachment. Okay, this will be good. You know, if you see this, there will be also icon showing that you have this attachment. Okay, don't use this one. Okay, because later stage it gets pretty confusing. Because once you put attachment, you will not, know where did you put it, right? Okay. So either way, most of the time you may not require this option attachment, but yeah, in the rare cases, in some project maybe it's very important for you, or in the project is such a way that you have to have attachment. So in that case, you want to use, double click this and use this attachment. See, all these are similar, but here, whatever is here, module is here, but when you use it, you get to know this is something little different. So, okay, so that's about test plan module. Any questions? So the good thing about here in HPLM is that you can write your test cases in Excel, okay, in Excel and import it. This is, what this, it's called an add-on. There's an add-on for Excel, not just for the tool. There's an add-on for Excel by, ALM. And once you install it, you have that URL, which URL, so this will be the URL, particular location of the test case. And once you do that, you can import your test cases from Excel to Quality Center. You can do that. Okay, that's an option. Yeah, I didn't get to that. We'll go to that. To execution and defects. I didn't get to that. We'll talk about this. Okay. So that's an add-on. If you want that add-on, you need to request that the HPLM administrator to install it. You cannot install by all yourself unless you have an access, but you don't want to really do that, okay, unless specified by management. Okay, so that's how you can do this. Either upload your all the test cases from Excel to here. Okay, there's something called add-on. Okay, HPLM add-on, and you can do that. Okay, so this is about creating your test cases. Now let's go to the next module, that's test lab. Here you will be executing your test cases. That's it. Okay, whatever you have, but this is not really that easy because you have created test plan. Okay, you remember this place now. This is really all together. This is not same here. That's the second drawback of HPLM. They would have made the same whatever test plan, but this is not same. This thing here is not same just here. So that's the problem. Okay, but you are supposed to have the projects here. Okay, you can create the project. If it's not there, it just doesn't matter. You can. Thing is, you need to repeat the same process again. Let's see here. Guess I have a different name here, but let's see. For what you need to figure it out, which project is here. Okay, good. So let's see here. Okay, this is my project. Okay, so I figured it out this. So the problem here is once you created a folder, you have to create one more folder here. Again, do the same work again. Okay, it is not linked with. They would have linked this, and this test plan should be linked with test lab. They didn't do that. So now we have to do redundant work. Again, you need to create a here test set. Okay, so let's create a test set. I'll do is click on this, click on whichever the project is, and click on test set. And you can choose again the functional, default, or performance. Okay, and you can specify that. And again, you need to fill up all this information. Without filling up, you're not going anywhere, because if you're filling wrong information, then it will be going into wrong person, and that guy will, again he will complain to your complain to your lead, saying that's what's going on. Why did you put this? A lot of things. So you want to make sure you're putting the right information. Release to. And change at today's date. Close, we know when it is closed, 28th. Created by, of course it gets automatically generated, but not. Okay, changed by, if you can put it on if your lead. It's supposed to be you actually who change it. Created at today's date. And what's the environment you're looking for? Let's say your test environment, production, or dev environment, or stage environment. Okay, so here we'll just put some sample environment. And what's the status? Status is open. Responsible guy. Now, most of the time as a QA, you are creating test cases, so you will be testing by yourself. Okay, but some in the rare cases, very rare, that is some you're working some big company and your job is only to create test cases, and the execution guy is different, then you want to put that thing. But otherwise, most of the cases it's not like that. But yeah, you can put the respective owner of the execution guy. Okay, so that guy is called QA tester, QA analyst. Okay, test build, the build, put up the build number, and once you put it, click on OK. Okay, good. So we have successfully created a test case. Okay, so let's refresh it. Let's refresh. This has so many problems. Now to figure it out, this is going to be different here. Just give me a second. We'll try to edit it. Just put it 18. That's good. And refresh it. So if you see this, these icons are all in one same. This icon is still different, right? There has been some mistake here. So let's click on and what we can do with this. Okay, so let's do this. You know what? Let's remove this. Okay, we'll just baseline. We'll just remove it. Okay, and now we'll just click on OK. Okay, good. Now if you see this icon has changed, right? Now this gets executed. Otherwise, I would have been in a hard time executing this test case. I would not have been able to execute it. Okay, it's good we have changed it here. Okay. Now, since I know that was an issue, and because previously it has a lot of issue with that, so I know what I've changed. But obviously, you might not know at the first time. You need to look at it and change it if there are any kind of issues up there. Okay. Now if you see here, this is empty. Okay, there's nothing here. Okay, because obviously it's not linked with any test plan or something, so nothing gets updated here. You need to do it manually. Everything, whatever you do is manually. Click on select test. You see the select test, and if you go here, drag this is here. Okay, good. So this you are trying to navigate your test plan. You see this test plan. So what you are trying to do here is navigating your test plan document and figuring out which of your test case is here. Okay, good. Now I found out mine. Now this is this is the one. And what I'll do is simply drag and drop, or you can use this option, add to test. So what I'll do is click it here and put it here. Okay, and I'll close this. So now I have this. Now this is supposed to show up here, and it's not showing up. It doesn't matter. Now we will run this test set. Okay, this is test set. Again, don't worry about this attachment. don't bother about this attachment. There's one more attachment here. If you want to use this, any of the attachment, use this attachment. We use this link defense. Okay, don't use this. I mean, it's not like don't use, but you will get confused in some part, because this is really not required. Okay. Okay, now let's run this test case. Okay, now we have to execute it. We have done nothing. We have just pulled the test case from test plan and dropped here. That's it. Okay, we have done nothing here. So let's execute it. So this is, you want to click on run test set. You can click on this. And okay, so I don't know, again I have to click on begin run. You have to click on begin run. Okay, now once you this, you get this. Okay, now these are steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, that's what we have written, right, in test plan. Now, you want to go this manually, you have to do it, put this, that means showing like, this URL should be put in Firefox browser, which I'll just use this Chrome for now. And this is the web page is showing up. So, what is showing up is home page of GMO is displayed as per the requirements. Okay, and click on past. Now the second step appears here. Click on GMO online button. Okay, click on GMO online button. Okay, and online catalog page is displayed. Okay, so this was enter GMO. So that's the button in this. Okay, good. So online catalog page is displayed. Okay, and click on pass selected. Then enter value for 10. Okay, we have done this, so we just do it again. And 10. Click on place order. So page is navigated to place an order. As per the requirement. Okay, so this is got good. And then click on pass selected. Click on proceed with order button. Okay, so page is directed to billing information page. That means billing information page is right here. Okay, great. So okay, and click on pass. Now let's say you have all passed, but you have found some issue. Let's say shipping and handling issue. Let's say. Okay, shipping and handling is not please let's put this here. Okay, is not displayed appropriately. So what you want to do is you want to fail this test case. Okay, now if all the test case is passed, then only it says it's passed. If any one of the test case is failed, then everything is failed. Okay, that's the objective here. And click on fail. One is failed. You see this? One step is failed. But if one step is failed, whole set is failed. Now, what is set? Set is a collection of steps, right? So, if one is failing the steps. Let's see here. Click on end run. Now, if you see the status got changed to fail, that means only one step got failed. Here, if you see this, only one got failed, and the whole set is failed. Okay, so and also make sure you don't change the status here, right? Now, if you are changing, I passed this test case and put it fail. If you put it pass, you need to go through all the steps. Okay, you cannot just change its status. Now, if you say to the lead and you change it to pass, and you say to the lead, yeah, I passed it. I passed it. You are caught immediately. Okay, you cannot fool anyone. Okay, thing is you cannot fool it here just by I'll just put it past, who cares? right? You cannot do that because the moment you do that, here if you see this, the execution time is displayed. That means you took some time to go through each and other page. You see this? Okay. The moment if you put it as pause, all time will be same. All the time is same. Now this is really odd, right? You cannot execute all the page in 1 second. It's not really possible. So you get caught here. So you won't want to use this one unless specified. Okay. So so they'll catch you immediately. Okay, so you want to use this unless your lead says, hey, you know what, change it to here. Your boss said to change it here, then only you want to change it. Otherwise, you don't want to use this one. Okay, unless you know what you're doing. Let's say got information from developer and you're the lead guy and you want to change it from not applicable. You can do that, but otherwise you cannot change it just like that. Shouldn't use that one. Okay. So that's the execution part. Any questions so far? This is a little bit tricky because you want to drag. The problem is you want to drag all your test, test steps from test plan to test lab. So this is a little bit primitive. Okay, I know this is this looks hard because once the people who have used Rally, let's say I'll be using Rally. After using Rally, if I use this, I'm like, what I'm supposed to do. Okay, because that is more user friendly. This is really not meant for user friendly, and I don't think they have updated any other in future release to make it user friendly. But the Rally is pretty good. Where you write your test cases, you execute there itself. You're not, dragging and dropping. You don't use because you're, utilizing a lot of time in just modifying these test cases. If you're using all this time here, you're not able to, do it more efficiently. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, so let's go to the next defects module. Okay. Now this is similar to all of them, what we have used. So here, let's say I want to create a defect. Okay. Click on new defect. So there was an interview question actually. Okay. How many ways you can create a defect? That's a very good question. There are many ways. You can create defect in defects module, that is from here, right from here. You can create defects in the test lab module, that is double click on this and you can create defects here. Okay, this is one way. Okay, this is one way. And now don't go to the test plan and say, I can create in the test plan. Okay, that's really not, that's really not a good, because you don't want to link anything with test plan. Although you have this option, you can create, defects right from here too. You see this? Over here. Now this defect is again different from this defect, so don't bother about just creating defects from the test plan. It's not required. Only test lab. Mostly, is interested in test lab. Okay, so that's an option. So 3 ways. One is from the defects module. The other is from the, you can create from test plan. Test lab module by double clicking it, and you can create here. Third is when you are running this. When you run this, oops. So if you see this, you can create here also. See this new defect. So there are 3 ways to open a defect. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so let's see here. Let's click on new defect, and we just put it shipping and handling fee. So we want to put some information on this, what the project is, and if you want to know who has opened it. This is really not required. See, the reason I use the star mark for if it's a critical issues or production issues, you want to use the star mark. Otherwise, I mean, this is my personal choice. You don't have to use something. But this is the thing. Whenever you're opening a defect, this naming convention is very important. Shipping and handling, you want to give some information what the defect is. And GMO online is like what project you're working on, so that someone will get an idea. So what's happening? Okay. Now, now let's try to open this. Um, who is the assigned? That means who is the developer for this? Owner of the defect is always a developer. Okay, let's put some. And then which browser, so if you know which browser, is it a Firefox, is it a Chrome, is it Safari, and so on. Okay. And what's the category? Is it a UI or defect functionality? We'll use this for defect. And which version? If you know the version, put that version. Estimated fix time is a job of a developer, so go fix it. And product area, we need to put which the product area is affecting this. Priority, we talked about this priority, right? Priority and severity, you put it. Regression, so is it a regression testing or is it a manual testing? So you want to put is no. Okay, and severity, just go to medium. What the subject, if you know the subject, put that for the project you're working on. Caused by code change is developer's job. Okay, this one is developer's work. Detected environment, which environment are you using? QA, test, production, developer, whatever the environment is, you want to put it. When is the release? You know the release, you put the release. And let's go here. Next time, developer has to it, closing build, closing date, we know this closing date, 28. Detected in build, the build, you can put it. So all this information should be filled. Without filling this information, we are not going anywhere because this doesn't get to appropriate guy. If this doesn't get to appropriate guy, then it gets rejected or at the max, your lead will come to you. Hey, you know what? What have you done with the defect? So they will just question you directly. So make sure you put all this information properly. Detected release, which release? Okay. Which cycle this is? Okay. Once you have filled up all this information, you can put it here. Okay. Now, picture is worth 1,000 words. You want to put screenshot, you have to put it. Okay, if you are not putting this will be, developer won't understand what you are talking about. It's pretty much you never get what it is. So you want to put it. Let's show it up here. Okay, take the screenshot, and we can use Paint. So I use Paint. So we can use Paint. I mean, it's up to you. You don't have to use Paint or something, but you can use inbuilt screenshot for HPLM. HPLM has the inbuilt screenshot. You can use that too. You don't have to use Paint or MSWord, but the screenshot should be there. Okay. Once you put it, just use this. You want to highlight it, what actually you're talking about. You want to use this. Once you highlight this, I'm going to use the whole of thing because we'll just give information what is required. and I will save this desktop. And here you have this option. You see this insert image. So what I do is click it here. Insert image. Now this is way too big. Here this is a good option. You can modify it. So this is 100% of this image. I'll use this 50%. Now this looks good. This is better. And add it. Once you add it, here it shows the screenshot, right? And this looks good. Now let's see if we can submit it. Let's see here what's the issue. So we'll just clear this. Okay, good. So we have successfully created the defect. Okay. Now, as always, this defect is in new status. And again, you are not supposed to put in new status. It has to be in open status. Okay. Now, new status means nothing. Change the subject. Remove the subject. Put it. Okay, here. This works. Okay, great. So it's just work. Okay, good. Okay, so always make sure that you have to put in open status. If you're not changing to open, nobody will look into your defect. Nobody cares. See, even after opening it, even if you're talking to developer, they don't care. So if you're putting in new, that will be again, you get a lot of questions from your lead, from your boss, what's happening. Why it is in new status? It has been 1 week. Why didn't you change into open status? So all these questions will be coming on you. Okay, so I will always make sure you put it in open status. Once you do that, okay, now you have opened a defect, but you know what? You don't know which test case does it belong to. Let's say you're opening 2 to 3 defects per day. Now, if you lead verifies it, you have open defect, but which test case does it belong to? Which project does it have to? What you're doing. So all this you need to know. So here, what you want to do is link your defect. So if you see this linking is important. So let's say, how can you do is your defect number is 261. Okay, 261. Let's go to the test lab. Double click on this. Oops, not this. You just don't get confused with all this. Click on this. Go to link defects and link existing defect 261. Okay, now this is got linked. Okay. Now once it gets linked, you want to refresh it because this link icon will show it up. Okay, good. Now you see this. This is linked. Now the same way here you see this chain icon will show it up. Let's quickly refresh. Okay. Now this defect is successfully linked. Okay. Now this linking is very important. Everything in HPLM you have to do manually. So because in Rally everything was we didn't know about linking because everything is automated, right? Everything Rally did for you. You didn't know about linking the defects. You don't know about linking your test cases. You don't know about linking your user storage. But here everything you have to do is manually because here this is a very different module. Okay, so again, if you're using attachment, make sure you use this attachment here. Okay, if you use here attachments, put it here. Okay, this attachment is specific for this set. If you are using this is specific for. This is not really specific. It's generic for all of these test cases. Okay, so you don't want to use anything here, and this attachment is nothing to do with any of those. So don't even bother looking at this attachment. only the attachment you'll be looking here, this one. And link defects is this one. Okay. So there's too many things. Only use the specific one which you are working on. This test case, then link it to this test case, not to the whole set. This belongs to whole set. Okay. So let's go here. So that's about defects. And here you have linked entities. That means you can link with another defect. How many defects are linked? You can link with the other defects too. Let's say there is a duplicate defect or there is a defect, dependency defect, as we discussed, right? The defects which has come with the other defect, and it has, if that defect gets resolved, this defect also will resolve. Okay, in that case you want to attach defects here. You can see this development activity, who is working and what's going on, and the history. So that's about the defects. Okay. And also you have to make sure who's the right guy who is assigned to this project, is the right person who is going to attach. Sometimes you get email, as we have seen, right? In Jira you used to get email, but here you don't get email. Here you don't get email. So yeah, that doesn't come here. So that's what it is, right? So if the administrator has to fix that issue from their end so that these things work. So otherwise, if administrator doesn't work, doesn't fix this option doesn't work. So don't depend on this email. If you want to use, you can use it. Just take a screenshot and put that URL so you can use it. So that's about the defect section. Any questions so far?
No, sir, not on this one. ALM is pretty good, clear, sir.
Okay. So anything else? I mean, you have question in any other field?
Yes, sir. I have created the issue on Jira yesterday, so it was good. Jira, and one more thing I have to ask. I forget about it. Like TFS tool, you said like you will send the link on TFS, like how to use the TFS Visual Studio.
TFS, have to create. Let me. I have to create a separate user for you. Okay, so send me an email. Okay, so that I'll call you. Okay, hopefully by today. Today we can work. Okay, and I can create for your email ID, specific email ID. Okay, so the TFS requires a Microsoft email ID, that is Hotmail, live.com, or Outlook.com. Yes, once you have created that email, then we can create an TFS account for you.
Sure, sir.
Okay, so send me an email so that I'll remember it, and also I have to call you because we'll go through this process and see. Okay.
Sure, sir. And so certification, you send the link for the certification from the Microsoft. That's like we have to watch all the videos to get the certification, or it's like how it's gonna work?
You have to, so you don't have to watch. If you know the answers, you can just click it and get it done. Okay, so that should be, okay. There's an assignment, right? After each video, there's an assignment.
Right, sir.
So once you complete that assignment, that should be enough to get you certificate.
So how many answers we have to clear it? Like all the 5 answers or 6 answers, like in the assignment we have to clear?
You have to at least take 4 out of 5.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, somebody has created this book.
Yes, sir. This is the me. I like put the name wrong, like AM. So it should be.
You should supposed to upload that document actually. The document which I will test plan document. See this? See here. See the document. You are supposed to read this document and upload it.
Yes, sir. It was in the PDF on the Word. Sir, I was trying to save it and then like on the desktop and did it like I couldn't do it. So that's why, sir, I couldn't do that one. So I just attached the like main page of the GMO homepage.
Okay. So
I will try it today. So to download it again and like attach it with the new one, new issue.
yeah, try to do that one. Okay, so that should be okay. Okay, so that's it. Pretty much in this mostly you will be only just downloading and uploading it. There's nothing much you will be doing in SharePoint. Okay, just
Sure, sir.
instant access. Okay, any other questions? There's no homework in Jira, so it's no problem. So yeah, if anyone is looking for access for HPLM, they can request Tagore. No, Tagore will help you out with access. I don't have access for this one, but
Yeah,
yeah, remaining
sir,
yeah.
sir, Tagore, he sent the link in the HPALM, like, he sent the password for the HPALM too on his email to us, like on the beginning. So if you can send the link for us to go to the HPALM, we have the password and username for ALM.
Thing is, he might be using a different server because I have access to different server. He is having a different server actually. So that's the reason
Oh,
you have to use a VPN kind of thing and you need to log in. Okay, so that's the thing actually. So the username password is completely different what I use. Okay, so he is the administrator for HPLM, so he should know actually. Okay, so maybe you can check it out with him. You can call him. You can call him, or you can email him. So anything he can help you out.
sure, sir. Sure, sir. We have the VPN access and connect with the VPN to go to the Oracle and Unix, Linux, and everything. So we had it that one. So we will ask the link for the ALM from him.
Yeah,
So where to go on it?
yeah, that should be good.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else have any questions? Yeah, so send me an email actually. So I see, by today, I'll call you whenever you're free, and I can, set up TFS and you can work on it.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay. So if no questions, can we close this class for today? So we'll meet on 27th again. Okay. 27th and 20th. So there's two more topics. That is QTP. We'll talk about introduction, how the QTP is, and the next is we'll go to certification. People who didn't complete were not able to understand, so we'll talk about this and see. And last thing is TFS. We'll look into TFS. How is it? What we can do, and the two classes.
Sure, sir. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Thanks. Happy day. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.